like. Because I already know it's gonna suck. If you've ever seen this channel, you just know it's gonna suck. Anyway. So we're just opening with Rick and Morty for some reason. And then a pickle.
A common sense test that 88% of people can't pass. Here on Earth, humans are the most intelligent species around. We're self-aware, we can think critically, and we're incredibly inventive. But hey, don't let your head get too big. While you're probably super smart, your common sense may not be as sharp as you think it is. Don't believe me? See if you can answer these simple yet tricky questions. Don't forget that the answers may be right there in front of you. Remember to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe. Stay on the bright side. 1. Okay, let's start with an easy one. You have 5 apples in a basket and 5 people to distribute them to. How can you give an apple to each person while still leaving 1 in the basket?
Has to be something dumb, like you take the 1 from right here at the 1 second mark, leave it in the basket, and give everyone an apple. That's my guess.
Does your head hurt yet? The answer is actually pretty simple. Just keep the last apple in the basket and hand the basket with the apple in it to the 5th person.
I overestimated
2. Listen carefully to these words. Imagine you're in an office building and everything around you is on fire. Just beyond the desk in front of you is a door, but flames are in front of it. How do you get out?
You run as fast as you can, quickly open the door, and just dive over the fire. I know that's not going to be it. It's going to be something dumb. But honestly, that's the best I can think of.
The answer? Well, stop imagining. The beginning of the sentence was, imagine you're in an office building. So the scenario wasn't even real in the first place.
None of these
you
are
were
real
just
in the
imagining
first
it.
Imagine being so dumb that you create questions that make no sense to make other people feel dumb so you can cope with being dumb.
3. How can a man go 8 days without ever hitting the hay?
Stop imagining. Just don't imagine it. It's not that hard. I'm kidding. Just don't slap the hay. That's not that hard. I know it's an
The same way you
expression.
do. He sleeps at night. The same answer would apply conversely. If a man can go 8 nights without sleep, it's probably because he slept during the day.
Or just take the
Pretty
expression
tricky,
literally and
right?
don't hit the hay.
4. Picture this. You live in a barn. While standing on the barn roof with one of your
Just stop
roosters,
picturing
it
it.
lays an egg. In
don't
which
picture it.
direction does the egg roll?
Dummy roosters don't lay eggs. That's the answer.
The egg doesn't roll anywhere because there is no egg. Roosters don't lay eggs. Perhaps the bigger question is, why are you guys on the barn roof? 5.
'Cause you put us
This next question will put your knowledge of marriage law to the test. Is it against the law for a man to marry his widow's sister?
Sorry, not pause. I'm not trying to cheat, but you can't marry a dead person, right?
You didn't have to cut me off like that. I can never know we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved.
I mean, like, obviously not. It's not ethical, but, like, is there a law against it? Like, is there anyone
While it's not
crazy?
exactly illegal,
Yeah,
it would sure be hard considering the fact that the guy is dead.
Well, yeah, that's obvious, but I'm pretty sure you can't. I'm also, yeah, you can't legally, yeah. Yeah, necrogamy. Yeah, alright.
A widow is the living spouse of a person who has passed away. Gotcha there, didn't I?
No, because your answer is
6.
just wrong.
You may have to really rack your brain with this next question. What goes up and down over and over again, but never actually travels anywhere?
I don't know.
Do you give up?
Yeah.
The answer is stairs. You go up and down
No,
stairs all
stairs
the
don't go
time,
up.
but the stairs
you
are
go up the
always in the
stairs.
same place. Unless, of course, you're talking about escalators, which are moving stairs. Okay, things are getting a little complicated here.
I guess technically
7.
Stairs do
You'll love this
go
question.
up.
It's all about money, honey. Honey, 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 Do you know why 1968 pennies are more valuable than 1967 pennies?
Because there's more pennies. I mean, like, if you got confused with the date, if you thought it was inflation related, like, you can clearly see there's another penny. Like, that gives it away.
Well, considering the fact that 1968 is just one digit higher than 1967, that makes the amount larger and therefore a smidge more valuable. The numbers are referencing the amount of pennies and not the year, like your brain probably thought. Generally, no matter what year pennies were manufactured, they're all the same value, 1 cent. 8. Okay, you're all done reading the morning newspaper. You take out one page and fold it in half. How many more times can you fold it in half?
Depends on the thickness of the newspaper. What the heck is a GSM? Or what's a micron? I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd. Oh, unit measurement for paper weight? For paper thick. There's a unit of measurement for paper thickness? Okay, I'm not. As many times as you want until it
Can't come up
work.
with an answer? Well,
did.
you can technically only fold the paper in half once. If you can...
I need to make sure I do not accidentally click one of these buttons. I feel very strongly about not accidentally doing anything good to this video. Delete that, and then let's find the like button. Now let's just delete that whole bar. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and my dislikes still saved, because this is local. But I can't accidentally do anything. Gotta be extra sure.
Continue to fold it, you'll be folding it into 4ths, then 8ths, then 16ths, then you get the idea.
No, because when you... Let's see what random junk papers I have in here that I can use. Wow, less junk than I thought. Yeah, we'll use this. What's this? No idea what this is, but we're gonna use it. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just gonna fold the paper once, right? Just a simple... Folded it in half, right? It's in half, approximately. Ignore the bad fold job. I don't have any surfaces or anything. See, now it's folded in half. Now watch this. I'm gonna fold it in half again. It might be folded into 4ths, but I've folded it in half twice because I've reduced the size of the paper 2 times. Or the surface area. You know what I mean. You get the point. So dumb.
Okay, now the questions are about to get a little trickier.
You mean
Do you think
dumber?
you can handle it? Let's put your common sense to the
This is
test.
not common sense. This is
9.
how dumb of an answer
This
can
is
come
Tom.
off.
Tom's dad has 5 sons named 10, 20, 30, and 40. Can you guess the name of the 5th son?
Tom! It's like in bigger font, except for 10, which for some reason 10 gets big font too. I guess because it's a smaller... No, I don't know, man.
The answer was right in the question. The 5th son's name is Tom. The question
Isn't
said
the answer
Tom's dad.
in
After
every
naming
question?
4 of the sons, the 5th one must be Tom. 10. Which weighs more, 100 pounds of feathers or 100 pounds of bricks?
Even the stupidest person on the planet could answer this, because everyone has heard this at least once. No, at least 50 times. They're the same, they're both 100 pounds.
You're probably assuming bricks since they're...
No one's assuming bricks, first of all, but you know what, it's probably feathers, because the feathers are on the moon for some reason. I think that has to be it. Not my answer, though.
Obviously much heavier than feathers, but if you look a little closer at this question, you'll see that the answer is right there. Both the feathers and the bricks weigh 100 pounds. It's the amount of feathers and bricks that vary, not their weight of 100 pounds. 11. How far can you walk into the woods?
It's gonna be something like you can't walk into wood because it's sunlight, but my answer is as far as you want until it ends.
If you're brave enough to walk into the woods by yourself, you'll learn that you can walk halfway into the woods.
What?
Once you've passed the halfway mark, you're technically walking out of the woods.
Let's see how far into my room I can walk. This is as far as I can walk in, because otherwise I'm walking out.
Or running, depending on what crazy stuff you find in there.
Stuff.
You've seen the Blair Witch Project, right?
No.
12. Think you're a whiz at math? Let's see if you can answer this question.
Not to brag.
How much dirt is there in a 14 by 12 by 10 hole?
Let's see, 14, I'm kidding, there's nothing in the hole because it's a hole, dummy. It's a hole. The whole point is it's empty space, nothing but air.
Okay, before you get a
Or if it's a
headache from
vacuum.
all that computing, I'll give you the answer. There isn't any dirt in the hole.
Oh,
If it were
really?
filled with dirt, or anything for that matter, it wouldn't really be a hole, would it?
Well,
13.
no, but
Here's another math question for all you wannabe Einsteins out there. How many times can you subtract 10 from 100?
they want you to say 10 because that's when you get to 0, but negative numbers do exist, so until you get bored, I guess. So I guess you can, since you can't technically get to negative infinity, the limit.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the up.
I'm not gonna do that, I'm sorry.
Okay, let's walk through this one together. If you were to subtract 10 from 100, you'd end up with 90. So if you subtracted 10 again, well, you wouldn't be taking it from 100, you'd be taking it from 90. If you took away 10 more, you'd be taking it from the new amount of 80. This means you can only subtract 10 from 100 once.
Okay, let's go ahead and go over something real quick. When people say take away from something a certain amount of times, that means they're writing it like this. See, you're wrong, because this isn't how normal people talk. See, look, I'm subtracting 10 3 times right here, and that's going to be equal to 70. So, let me go ahead and write a little thing there. So, you can go really close to negative infinity.
Makes sense, right?
No.
14. You know how Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, right? Well, before this mountain was established as the highest mountain in 1952, which mountain was the tallest in the world?
Mount Everest. It's not even anything to that one.
Racking your brain trying to remember what you learned in geography class back in high school?
I've never been
Well,
in high school.
you're wasting your time. If Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world today, it was the tallest 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and so on. It
No,
still existed here
not
on
and
Earth.
so
We
on.
just didn't know it yet.
Because at some point it was just like a little too.
Still hanging in there? Okay, I have a couple more questions for you to solve. You can do it. 15. Think you're a wordsmith, do ya? Let's try this question on for size. Which word becomes shorter after adding 2 letters to it?
Sure. actually kind of, this one's the only one I kind of agree with, as long as that's the answer.
Wait a minute. How can a word become shorter if you're adding letters to it? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, it makes plenty of sense once you realize the word I'm talking about is short. If you add 2 letters to the word, specifically E and R, the word literally becomes shorter. See?
So see, that's a different way to think about it. I was thinking about, I didn't even realize, like, it was literally making the word just shorter means it's more short than just something that's short because it's shorter. That's how I thought about it, but I guess it does
make
literally
sense.
Make the word, so
16.
I guess that works.
Do you know why it is illegal for a person who is living in South Dakota to be buried in North Dakota?
It's not. Oh, but they is living, or are living, so that means you'd have to kill them first, and then bury them. So, you can't do that, because that's illegal.
You know that burying a person alive is against the law, right? Well, that's why a living person can't be buried in South Dakota, North Dakota, or anywhere for that matter. Nowhere in the sentence did I say the person had passed away. Therefore, they're still alive and well. Whew.
Oh, yeah, so if that's how it works. I really appreciate Abraham Lincoln's efforts towards freeing the slaves. Wait, I just got a call. Abraham Lincoln's back alive because I didn't mention he was dead in my sentence.
That was a close one. 17. As you probably already know, different countries celebrate different holidays.
Yeah, duh. But look, I love how this guy's just like a PS2 character when these are all like PS5 characters.
But if you're in England, can you still celebrate the 4th of July?
You could celebrate the 4th of July, it's just kind of weird because it's America's Independence Day, so there's not really a point, but I guess if you're like from America originally.
Last time I checked, the month of July does exist in England. That means they have a 4th of July, a 5th of July, and a 6th of July.
I guess
it may not be a national holiday over there, but the date still exists. However, you may be the only one in England craving hot dogs that day. After attempting to answer all these questions, there's no way your brain isn't tingling. I know mine is. If there's anything you take away from this, just know that sometimes things are simpler than they seem. Trust your common sense and try not to think too hard about things. You're smarter than you realize. Which question had your brain in knots the most? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe. Stay on the bright side.